All right, folks, we are now joined by President of the Association of Consultant Physicians of Jamaica, Dr. Lilith Johnson-Whitaker, to talk to us about strokes. Good morning. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. Great to meet you.
Yeah, well, good morning. Nice to be here.
Your son look a different than you. Brain strokes. Well, what is a stroke? Let's start there.
Right. A stroke is an acute episode that is caused by an interruption of the blood supply to the brain.
Okay. So a brain stroke is different from just a stroke, or no?
No.
Okay.
No, it is, a stroke is something that affects the brain. But we use the slogan, brain attack, to make a comparison to heart attack, because so many people are aware of heart attacks.
Okay.
And they are aware of the mechanism of a heart attack. So we're just pointing out that it is the same mechanism that causes a stroke. It's an interruption to the blood supply to this particular organ, your brain.
What would cause that interruption?
Well, it's caused by an interruption in the blood supply, and in our population, 80% of that is due to a clot, right? Sometimes it's due to a bleed. A vessel ruptures, and if the vessel ruptures, the blood is not able to go to the intended part of the brain that it was supposed to go to, so that part becomes ischemic or lacks blood, and at the same time you're having damage to other areas because the blood is spilling into other areas of the brain where it doesn't belong. Which
I've noticed, it seems like it shuts down one side of your body.
Okay, so the brain on the right governs function on the left side of your body. So if you have an interruption to a part of the brain on the right side, then your left side will be the part that will become weak.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of contralateral.
Right,
know?
So if it happens on one side, it affects the other side.
The other side, yes.
You use the words weak. In this case, means what?
Well, you know the cardinal symptoms of a stroke, right? You look for a droopiness of the face, or you look for weakness in a limb, an arm or a leg. You have problems with speech sometimes. And the other part of it is that time is extremely important. So there's a little acronym that says FAST for stroke. If you think somebody has a stroke, they have a twisted face, or they have slurred speech, or they're not able to move a part of their body, they have a stroke. And it is imperative that you get that person to an emergency department, not your local GP or anything, as a matter of urgency. Well, because time is brain tissue that is damaged, that is lost, that is dead, that is not retrievable. And the difference between a person having a stroke, and you see them totally ambulatory, and they tell you as a matter of course, oh, you know, I had a stroke, and a person who is permanently paralyzed, is time. If you get that person to a facility that can offer the appropriate treatment in time, and they have a stroke that is a clot, then that clot can be removed or dissolved, and they return to full function.
What is time? 5 minutes, 10
time
minutes?
Is under 3 hours.
Under 3 hours.
Under 3 hours to location, appropriate investigation, and intervention. 3.5 to 4 hours is a kind of time window that you have for all of that. So it's not getting to the hospital at 4 hours. It's getting to the hospital ASAP, getting the investigations done, and getting the interventions within that time frame.
Quite often it is fatal. My father had a stroke. I thought it was a small one, if that's the right word to use. Then it seemed like he recovered, and then he had a massive one and did not recover from that one. But we thought we got him to the hospital in pretty quickly, actually.
Well, that is part of the reason why we're doing this this symposium, that we need to educate our colleagues as well, the population as well, because sometimes you have a mini stroke or you have a TIA, but it is a harbinger of a bigger one to come,
right.
you know? And sometimes you have a stroke and then you go on and bleed into the area, which makes...
Which causes
yes,
more
which
problems.
makes the situation.
Is it a lifestyle thing? Is it what you eat? Is it how you live?
Well, there are a number of causes, and some of them are, of course, lifestyle driven. For instance, the obesity and the smoking and the sedentary lifestyle. But some of it has metabolic drivers, like hypertension. The commonest cause of stroke is hypertension, and treating hypertension results in a significant reduction in the incidence of stroke. So there's hypertension, there's diabetes, there's high cholesterol, and in our situation we can have other diseases that predispose us to it, like sickle cell, anemia,
right.
lupus, and so on.
How prevalent is it in Jamaica?
Well, stroke is the #1 cause of death in Jamaica.
Wow.
#1 cause of death. So for the year 2014, there were about 3,200 deaths due to stroke, which was about 18% of the total all-cause mortality.
Which is huge.
Which is huge. So twice as many women die of stroke than they do of cancer.
Wow.
Right?
Tell me about your symposium. When is it? Where is it?
Okay. The symposium is going to be on this weekend, and as you know, it is the major event of the association every year, second week in September. It is going to be held, it starts off with a banquet on Saturday night, but the symposium itself is going to be on Sunday at the Knutsford Court Hotel. And we will be talking about stroke. It is entitled Brain Attack, Reducing the Burden of Stroke in Jamaica. 6 CME hours will be allocated. We're bringing Dr. Clinton Wright of the National Institute of Neurological Diseases and Stroke from NIH to talk about acute interventions in stroke. And we have an erudite panel.
Okay.
Registration is at 8 o'clock.
What's the cost?
The cost is $3,000 to physicians, $2,500 to our members.
Thanks for coming, ma'am.
My pleasure.
Great to meet you. Say hi to Jeremy for us.
Will do.
She's the president of the Association of Consultant Physicians of Jamaica, Dr. Lilith Johnson Whitaker. 10 minutes to your health. We'll do it again next Thursday.